welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Liana. Today I'm going to be filming for you a fall tutorial using all drugstore and or indie makeup. Some of this stuff is drugstore and some of the stuff is indie makeup, but indie makeup around this general vicinity that I live in is drugstore priced. So I figured that this would be a nice way to show you some nice fall colors while still being in the more affordable range of pricing. That's always nice. So hopefully you enjoy this tutorial. I kind of like the way this turned out. It's almost like a golden kind of green apple vibe, and I really like it. So without further ado, here is the look. Going to start with this shade Pear from Igneous Cosmetics. This is a matte sort of chartreuse shade. It looks a lot like a pear. I'm going to take a very fluffy brush from Wet n Wild and start blending that through my crease. Just using windshield wiper motions. This is a very pigmented color, so you don't need a lot on your brush. I just tap in once and that's enough. And I'm blending that up fairly high towards my eyebrow. And of course, just doing the other side. I'm going to use a little bit of this e.l.f. glitter glue adhesive on my lid. Just going to take a little bit of that on my ring finger and just sort of pat that on the lid. I'm just going to do one eye at a time so that it stays sticky. Then I'm going to go in with this yellow gold shade from the Hard Candy Look Pro Rose Gold palette. It's the shade Marry Up. And taking a very flat shader brush, again from Wet n Wild, and just patting that over the lid. Not swiping, just tapping. And this is only going to go on the inner 2/3 of the lid. I'm going to leave the outer corner alone for now. Yeah, so kind of stopping around the area that my iris color stops. And then again going back in with the e.l.f. glitter glue on the other side and following the same steps. So taking a little bit on my finger, tapping it on the lid to get a nice sticky base for that glitter shade. And then going in with the yellow gold on a brush, flat brush. Again, I'll kind of stop around there. On the outer corner, I'm going to take the shade Black Forest from Emme Cosmetics. Now this is a very dark satin green. It's a blackened sort of green. And I'm going to take a sort of fluffy shader brush for the lid and start packing that on. Also kind of getting that on the tip of the brush so I can start kind of blending that upwards a little bit, and then I can go in with a fluffier brush to start softening that. I'm going to do the other eye first before I do that. So I'm going to take this very tiny fluffy brush from Sigma and start buffing out the edges of that darkest green, Black Forest. This doesn't have any additional product on the brush. not at the moment. So I'm using a lot of very small circular motions to blend this color. And I'm kind of blending outward and upward. And what I'm going to do to make the edges look a little softer is I'm actually going to take a mix of the lighter shade Pear, and I'm also going to take this mid-tone matte green called Evergreen and create a little mix and go over top of the edges here. And you can definitely spot a little bit of that Evergreen shade, but that is just helping to blend that into the Pear shade. And if you like the way that that looks with Pear on top of, or sorry, Evergreen on top of Black Forest, you could always take that further down onto the outer corner and make that shade a little less deep. And I may just take that same sort of mix and kind of use that to blend into Black Forest and the glitter shade on the lid. Kind of running that down the center of my lid to join the two shades. Just kind of sweeping this Sigma brush back and forth in little motions. And then I'm just going to take my biggest fluffy brush that I started off with and take the shade Pear and run that a little bit higher up towards the brow, since I lost a little bit of that through blending. So on the lower lash line, I'm going to continue to use the shade Pear with this small Sigma brush. Actually, I'm going to mix Pear and Evergreen. And just kind of sweeping that fluffy brush back and forth. And that gives me a mix of color that's matching where we blended out Black Forest in the crease, so it does tie the look together. And I'll take a little bit more of that yellow gold, and I'm just going to add that kind of right in the inner to mid lower lash line. Just using the same Wet n Wild flat shader brush. On the inner corner, I'm taking the shade Soul by Clionadh Cosmetics. It's a duochrome, sort of yellowy green orange, I would say. It's an interesting shade. I'm just going to take that on my pinky finger and put that right on the inner corner. And what I do if I add too much is I just kind of take a separate clean finger and buff that away. So I don't want to do any winged eyeliner for this look, but I do want to add a little bit of eyeliner. So I'm going to take this Essence Long Lasting eye pencil, and this is in the shade Black Fever, and this is just like a gel twist up black pencil. I'm just going to draw that near the base of my eyelashes on the upper lash line. I'm also taking a very small smudgy brush and just smudging that along the lash line a bit. For my mascara, I'm using the Essence Lash Princess Sculpted Volume. To finish off the rest of the face, I'm going to take this NYX HD Blush in Amber. This is a matte, sort of warm amber shade. It's not totally nude, but it's also not extremely red toned. It's around the same shade as the Tarte Party Blush. The shade complements a lot of different looks, so it's a very nice blush to have in my collection. And the brush I like to use for this is the Real Techniques blush brush. This is my favorite blush brush that I have, although it's not like I have many. And for my highlighter, I'm going to take the Annabelle Perfect Glow highlighter in the shade Topaz, which is sort of a white shifting gold. It has shimmer in it but no glitter. And I'm just going to use the Real Techniques setting brush to apply that to the tops of my cheekbones. And I'm actually just going to take a little bit of that under my brow because I forgot to put a brow bone highlight. I'm just using a very small, sort of rounded brush to get up under there. The gold will kind of tie in with the rest of the eye look. And for lips, I think I'm just going to take the NYX Liquid Suede Cream Lipstick in Soft Spoken, which is kind of a mid-tone warm nude. It's kind of a pinky brown. That's the finished look. I hope that you like it and that you found it helpful. I can always do more fall themed tutorials if you'd prefer some different colors. And the tutorials are some of the easiest things to film right now because I'm running out of time before I have to move. Anyway, yeah. Hope you enjoyed this video. I post Mondays and Fridays here on this channel in the afternoons Eastern time. I will let you know if that changes. I hope to see you in the next video. Bye guys.